Now, let me ask you some questions about leadership and what your own philosophy of leadership is. What is the difference between a vision a leader may have, or you may have, a philosophy a leader may have, or you may have, and a style? Or is there a difference? Are there contradictions between these
I think
things?
you start off with a vision.
Mm-hmm.
I had a vision for the magazine, and then I had to write it philosophically how I was going to make that vision take shape, right? And because I thought about this, and what was the magazine going to represent? What was it going to stand for? It was going to be for quality. It was going to be, if you will, an economic and moral compass to the extent. I wasn't going to try to tell people, hey, here's how I live my life. I was just going to roll by example. I was going to have a publisher's page, which I've had every month since the magazine's been in business, and that's 31 years. And then if that did that by example, it was going to be by example. When people meet me, they say, I'm doing just what you said to do, and now I've got a kid going to college, and the kid read my magazine, and so there I'm there. So I think you need to have my vision on those same goals that I talked about before. Philosophically, I've got a moral compass that says I'm doing things a certain way. I'm going to be honest about what I'm about. I can look at a banker today, shake his hand and say, here's what I'm prepared to do, or do a real estate deal on a handshake. It doesn't mean that eventually he has to be not committed to paper, but it certainly can be on a handshake. And so there's a philosophy where people know that if I say to them, I'm doing X, they can go to the bank with that. And then in terms of, I've done the vision part, I've done what was the third part you asked me about? I apologize.
Style.
And the style. It's the style in which you do it. I mean, I don't think you got to walk around with a sign on your chest that says, I'm morally right, all right? Or that everyone in my office has got to wear a tie. I mean, the way that you and I are dressed, we don't have dress down days in my office. I think it's absurd. I think the society has gone completely in the wrong direction. This nonsense about if you don't walk around with a pair of sandals, you can be much more relaxed and it makes your mind work better. I've never seen anything that's proven in any statistical data I've read that wearing relaxed shoes is going to make you be any smarter in business. And I think you look smart. You look a certain way. I think that our society has slipped in a significant way. Like I said to you, growing up, we were not poor. We just didn't have much money. But in that environment, I had school clothes, play clothes, and church clothes, right? Or Sunday clothes, when you went to church. Never got it mixed up. I didn't have 6 different wardrobes, but at least we knew. Again, it's a style in which you do things. That style was taught to me at an early age. And today, my sons, again, they if you look in their closet, they've got X number of suits and X number of ties, and they know how they're coming to work. There's no earrings in the ears in my office. You don't dress like that. There's no extreme hairstyles in terms of what happens in our office, and that's the way it is. And I don't run a democracy. It's a business, and there's leadership in that office. It makes it very clear. Here's how we do things. We had a TV camera crew come in just this week to do an interview with me, and I looked up, and here was a black guy in the office with his cap on backwards. Well, he had that hat off his head so quick he didn't know what hit him. I just said to him, look, if you're here to do an interview, that's fine. If you're here to make a delivery, go down to the street and make it. I said, because you're not wearing a hat in here. And he almost swallowed his hat. Because someone had said to him, you don't wear a hat in front of ladies, you don't wear a hat in the building, it's not raining, and you're not going to do it here. And if I was at the school this afternoon when I'm going to lecture, and there are students in that lecture, so somebody can kick this word forward, and there's someone sitting there with a hat, either they're taking off the hat, or I'm leaving. Right? I'm not lecturing in a room with people unless they can prove to me physically they have to wear the hat for some reason.
I think you'll find these students don't wear hats indoors.
Good.
Not at Darden. Go down to the undergraduate college. It's a different picture.
Right.